and I am a blogger
Okay,
at teresasimba.com, and I'm also an author
nice.
of The Becoming.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So, what
yeah.
inspired you to become a blogger and an author?
To be honest, it was just I didn't plan for it. I didn't think I could write. Apart from like I used to journal a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I think sharing what I needed, being the person that you needed at a certain stage in your life. So that's what motivated me. So I wanted to share the things I've learned that I had to learn maybe the hard way, or that I had to go through something to learn, so that someone else won't have to do that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's when I started sharing. It's basically things that I'm learning from books I'm reading or life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was just inspired to share with other people.
Okay, so was it an easy transition to go from writing your own journals to writing something for someone to read and hopefully inspire someone?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because when I journaled about, like, I journaled, it helps me, journaling helps me get clarity. So when I'm stressed or when I have so much on my mind, so I just write it out, and it
Mm-hmm.
helps me declutter, I guess, my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started writing the book, I was just writing. It was like a word vomit. I don't know. I was just
Yeah.
exactly. So I was just writing, not thinking about, oh my gosh, who's going to read this, who's not going to read this. So yeah, I just did what I could. Like, I would talk to a friend, let's say. So I
Mm-hmm.
just wrote. And then when it came down to thinking about, oh my gosh, people are actually going to read this. This is freaking me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
That was scary. But then
Uh-huh.
it was a good thing that I didn't filter. I didn't think about that when I was writing, because
Mm.
otherwise I would have limited what I was going to say, or I would have been, I don't know, not as vulnerable as I was if I was thinking about, oh, people are going to read this, what will they think, and all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it
Okay.
was it was a bit frightening,
Yeah, I can imagine.
but yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So you are
hmm
the author of the book called The Becoming, The Journey to
hmm
Living in the Completeness of Who You Were Created to Be. So
hmm
that's a great title. Can you tell us about the book?
For sure. So the becoming is pretty much bec- it's coming from a place where I was as a person, in terms of my identity.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you let everything or everyone else define who you are, and you start limiting who you are or who you were created to be,
Mm-hmm.
so you start living according to people's boxes, or fitting yourself in places that you are not supposed to be there, or you're just, I don't know, trying to be like everybody else. So I was, or still am, actually going through that process of becoming
Yeah.
of becoming myself, minus all the clutter in the world and all the voices and all of that. So I had to relearn. So basically, relearn my identity. So remember who, the things that I went through, or the experiences that I had that had defined me, but how what I can learn from those experiences, and
Mm-hmm.
leave the stuff that it's not supposed to be there anymore. It happened, like, you're not what happened to you, right?
Very true.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's just unlearning the lies that you've been believing about yourself, and becoming who you really are, who God created you to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So is this a Christian? Would it be in the Christian category? Like,
Yes,
okay.
yes, it is. It is. It is a faith-based book, because the whole becoming process for me was when I started taking my faith seriously, when I
Mm-hmm.
really committed to,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's really awesome. So
Hmm.
what is the process? What process do you go through to get a book um published or printed? Like what's from can you describe the steps that are taken and the people that are
Excuse me.
involved in the
Okay.
mm-hmm.
I didn't do it the traditional way, and I think I really made a whole bunch of mistakes. But so I wrote the book and then sat on it for a while,
Okay.
and then eventually got the guts to actually go through with publishing and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the most important person that you need in your corner is a good editor.
Mm-hmm.
So you do your manuscript and then get someone good to read it over, so to see if it's making sense or whatever, to edit pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also suggest a publisher. I didn't go through the whole publisher route. I self-published, but it was good because it gave me some sort of fulfillment that I did this.
Mm-hmm.
But I would actually suggest for someone to get a publisher. It helps with like marketing and everything. So I would say I wrote the book in the space of like a month, I
Mm-hmm.
think. So I just wrote it out, not thinking about who will read it or what will happen after that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I decided to finally publish it, I went through it a bit and then sent it over to my editor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Really good editor, by the way. If anybody's looking for an editor, his Instagram is Toby Nifesi.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
thing. Mm-hmm.
I'll. So yeah, he helped me out with that, and he went through it, and he helped me with formatting it as well. And he's published. He's also an author, so he's published 2 books, and he pretty much walked me through how to go about the whole Amazon printing, I mean, publishing, doing it on
Mm-hmm.
Kindle, getting a soft
Mm-hmm.
copy. So it's actually it's not complicated. It's not as complicated as I thought it would be. But I think a good editor is very, very important. And
Mm-hmm.
also a good cover. So for my
Uh,
cover, I got a cover designed on Fiverr. It's like, if I, the like a site where people put up people who are skilled in something. So it could be covers, it could be posters, it could be animations, whatever it is. There's a whole
mm-hmm.
bunch of stuff there. So it's pretty fair priced
Mm-hmm.
for the most part. So it was not expensive. It was about cost me about $10 or so to
Oh,
get
what
a good
cover? Mm-hmm.
yeah, to get a cover designed and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then publishing it on Amazon is pretty much free. So you just make an account and upload it and
Mm-hmm.
then publish. So if you're going to order author copies, that they're cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to make sure that you meet the specs,
Mm-hmm.
and you just upload it there and publish.
And then
And then the marketing part would be the most for me, it was the most challenging part
okay. How come?
because I kind of struggle a little bit with self promotion.
Okay.
So it's hard to, if I meet someone, I won't be like, oh, I'm so and so and I'm an author, oh, buy my book or something.
Yeah.
That was pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
But then that was the main, like, social media was my main marketing strategy, if I can even call it that. Because,
Definitely.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, but it gets overwhelming for me at least. So it was a bit, I struggled with that. Still
Yeah.
do. So that's where I think a publisher is a great idea, to
Mm-hmm.
get a publisher. So they help you market your book. They help you get into bookstores and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I also know a great publisher, by the way.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
We'll
I
get
should
their
have gone the
information.
publishing route, but definitely, yeah. So that for me is the challenging was or still is the challenging part, is the marketing
Mm-hmm.
of the book. But then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So you pretty much write, edit, publish.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's it's more cost efficient to be self-published as compared to going through a publisher.
I think so. So I'm not sure how it works with the publisher, either whether you pay them upfront or they get a percentage of your royalties. I'm not sure how it works because I didn't go the publisher route.
Mm-hmm.
But self-publishing is pretty much free. I mean, if your greatest cost would be paying for an editor,
Oh,
a
okay.
good editor, because I think a good editor is important,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then a cover.
Oh, okay.
And then that depends on your budget too, because you can pay for, I don't know, a $200 cover, or you can pay for a $5 cover. It all depends on you, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was definitely cheaper.
Yeah, definitely. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so how long does the whole process take? Or how long did it take you from, or on average, how long does it take from when you write your first draft to when you have the book on the market, maybe on Amazon, on Kindle, ready for customers to buy?
I would say it depends.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote the book within like a month,
Mm-hmm.
but then I kept it for about a year before I did anything with it.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Yes, and then after that, like depending on the size of your book and
Mm-hmm.
your editor or their speed or how they work. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that timeline depends on the size of your book and your editor. But for me, it didn't take long. Let's say about 3 weeks or so, or a month.
Maybe.
I don't really remember, but I don't think it was more. It was definitely not more than a month. Um, and then uploading it
Mm-hmm.
is a 10-minute process, really.
Oh, okay.
And you just click publish and that's that.
And then,
But then as long as you have your stuff properly formatted, that so that Amazon accepts it. Because if you have some dimensions wrong, like the first time I tried to upload mine, my book cover size was not properly done.
mm-hmm.
So it tells you right away that this is not the right dimension, this will not work, or this won't print right. So you have to go back and get that fixed, and then
Mm-hmm.
get it done. So my book cover designer, for example, it was about a 5-day order, and they got it done.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, and upload it and pretty much click publish within about 24 hours. It usually says 24 to 48, I think that's what they
Mm-hmm.
say. But in a couple of hours, they get back to you like, oh, your book is now live, or it's been accepted. Or,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. All
So it's
right.
not that long of a process.
Yeah, yeah, it all depends on the length and all those things. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the pros and cons of being a blogger and an author?
Huh. The pros. Pros is you get to meet a lot of amazing people, or get to know amazing people. Like I recently I'm originally from Tanzania.
Okay.
So I recently went back home for vacation, and I was able to meet like three people that I've never met before. I just know from social media.
Uh-huh.
Really cool
That's awesome.
individuals, and we
Uh-huh.
had great conversations, and you meet amazing people.
Yeah.
Like I know you from social media.
Hey, yeah, definitely.
Hey. So
Uh-huh.
I think that's a really great part.
Uh-huh.
Also, another pro would be feedback.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy reading feedback. When I write something, or someone who's read my book, or someone who's read a blog post, and they tell
Mm-hmm.
me, "Oh, this really spoke to me," or "This
Mm.
helped me in one way." That's the best. I
That's the
love
best.
that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That is the best.
Yeah.
And also, this last one is a pro and a con, I guess, for
Mm-hmm.
me, would be vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
And so a con because you say some things about yourself that are personal, and that also depends on, that's just the way I want to be writing. And I'll think about, oh my gosh, will people judge me, or what will they think, and blah blah blah. So that's a bit tough going through that process, is, yeah. But otherwise, it's also a pro because it brings healing. I love writing. It's really, someone said writing gives clarity to the act of living. So
Okay. I
it
like that.
it does
Yeah.
it does that for me. So I really do, yeah. I enjoy it. I would definitely say the pros outweigh the cons. Yeah.
So what would be the cons?
Um yeah, it's just the whole vulnerability thing. And also, okay, so I don't write for other people. So that's the thing with writing. There's people who write for other people, and then there's ghost writers and all of that. So I don't do that. I've tried to, but I realized that it's not my strength. I like to decide what I'm writing as opposed to getting that. So I've also realized that it's hard for me to write for other people because I don't think there's a good market for the genre. How do you pronounce that word? That I
Genre?
write for. That one.
Okay.
That I write for. So I tried. I guess depending on what you enjoy writing, getting a market for that, or getting jobs to write about that is sometimes it's a bit tricky.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be a con for being like a writer, or maybe like a full-time writer. Yeah.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
You
We
have
have
to,
someone here. Sorry?
oh, sorry. You have to put yourself out there a lot, and you have to pitch different content companies. So there's people who, like I'm on a group with professional writers, and they go to like, oh, maybe the great magazines, or like The Economist, or I don't know, Vogue, or wherever. And you have to pitch to them, to pitch to their editors, like, okay, so I'm interested, I want to write about so and so and so. I think this will be really good for the kind of content that you people put out and stuff like that. So that is really competitive, actually. Really competitive to get, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you put in your work, I think
You'll get
you'll
it.
be
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have someone here who's wanting you to say that code again. So writing gives clarity to living.
To the act of living.
Writing gives clarity
to the act of living. I think Amanda, I forget her name. Amanda someone said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we had another question here. So it says, have you ever gotten writer's block, and how do you get over it?
Huh. Yes, I have.
Okay.
How do I get over it? I honestly stop writing.
Okay.
I do stop writing. I don't write, and I think this is a good practice actually, to write every day, because writing, it's like a muscle, so you practice and you strengthen it. So yeah, I'm slacking in that a little bit. I should write every day for practice, but when I do sit to write, I have something in mind that I want to write about. So I'll go with that, and I'll just start writing. Sometimes I'll set out to write about one thing and end up writing about something completely different. So when I can't write, I just honestly stop, because I think, excuse me, unless write when you have something to say, I guess.
Makes
And
sense.
then when you're writing, don't limit yourself. Something I had trouble with when I was starting would be, I would write and edit at the same time. So that's not a very good practice. So you keep stopping because you think, I'm seriously messing this up. this doesn't sound right, or this is wrong, or whatever. So just write it as it comes, like free flow. And
Yeah.
then when you're done, you can go through
You can
it and
edit.
decide to change some things and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I think that really helped me as well.
Okay, that's a really good tip. That sounds like a really good tip.
Mm-hmm.
And the other question, the last question that I have here is what advice would you give someone who's looking at publishing a book or publishing a piece of work that they're working with?
Just start.
Just start.
Like, you would be surprised.
Uh-huh.
Your voice matters a lot, so don't be afraid. Easier
Mm-hmm.
said than done, but do not be afraid. Just go for it. Someone somewhere is needing what you want to put out, or that what you're delaying to write. So just start. And also
Uh-huh.
don't worry about don't go ahead of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to, I don't know, publish a book. Start by writing a manuscript. Don't start thinking about, I don't have money for this, I don't have money for that. How is this going
Mm-hmm.
to work? I don't have an editor. I don't. All those other things will take care of themselves eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just start where you are with what you have. Start right
Mm-hmm.
there. So
Mm-hmm.
start writing your book or whatever work you're trying to put out.
Yeah.
Write it out, and the rest, you like, doors will open, opportunities will come, people will come. You'll be surprised, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to take the first step.
Mm-hmm. That's some excellent advice because I do know that sometimes we stress ourselves and we stop ourselves from going for things
Yeah,
because we start trying to see the full picture when we're supposed to just
exactly.
see what's in front and work what's in front and then deal with those later. That's some really good advice. Some amazing advice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. So where is your book available right now? Where can people get it?
So my book is available on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
mainly.
Mainly.
Yeah,
Okay.
mainly on Amazon.
Uh,
So there's a paperback copy and there's a Kindle copy for those who like reading online stuff.
mm-hmm.
And I'm working on getting it on Apple Store and the Google Apple what iBooks and the Google
iBook.
Books.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, as well. It's not there yet, but soon. But
Yeah.
currently on Amazon. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on ProKonnect. I'm glad and happy that you're able to come, and it's amazing. I look forward to seeing more of your work and going from there. And I wish you all
Thank
the
you
best.
so much. Thank you very much.
You're
Thanks for having me.
you're welcome. You're welcome. I'll